Boom shakalaka, a huge Bitcoin break ahead. Exact targets, stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, a lot of very interesting charts for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, including a massive Bitcoin break coming, exact price targets. Before we get into things, guys, like the video, come join us on Twitter through Crypto Love, and subscribe to the OG Bitcoin and Crypto YouTube channel, making daily videos since 2017. Now, today, fear and greed at 40, down from yesterday's 46, and last month's greed and extreme greed. The overall market down 1%, Bitcoin at 61,050, Ethereum at 3386, BNB at 573, and the rest where they're sitting there. Now, Bitcoin following perfectly the past two bar patterns for when the blue line, the 21 EMA, broke below the 50 and 100-day moving average. You can see these going down to roughly somewhere the $59,000 to maybe even $57,000 area before taking off. Look at where these bar patterns go. One of them, the red, following it perfectly right now, goes to 74,000 by the end of July. The other, the yellow, following it perfectly as well, goes all the way to 114,000 by February. And even though it's not following the green one, this is the third time that we had the blue line dip below the yellow and the green. And this one goes all the way to roughly $171,000 by January. Oh my goodness, could it be true? Interesting to note that even with the recent crash in Bitcoin price, this is what the price looks like on a log scale. Not even above the linear regression fit. We haven't even reached that territory, which means there could be a lot further up to go. That being said, there could also be a lot further down. Most of us have seen much worse. Stay humble. If we take a look at bull market drawdown corrections, this one by far the lowest yet. Hopefully, we won't see it go too much lower. Willie Woo saying that nice to see most of the speculation getting purged the last few days. Still a bit heavy, still too much speculation right here. Bears still in control, but Bitcoin got so oversold in liquidations that it's really hard to go lower without an uptick. So maybe that we're at the bottom. As a matter of fact, we have a couple scenarios here. One, local low right now, but needs some more time range bound to consolidate. Or two, final drop to $55,000 and then taking off. But a lot of signals are saying, hey, bottom is already in. Bounce imminent based on trendline retest and also drop in stochastic to the oversold. Not only that, but we see fear and greed tapping a trend line once again. Every time this taps down into fear, you can see in orange here the times that it taps fear on the way up to new peaks. Hasn't dropped to extreme fear. If it drops to extreme fear, well, that might be bad news temporarily. We'll have to see how that plays out. And if we take a look at the better RSI for Bitcoin, the last 3 times we had a red dot on the better RSI, all of these were bottoms. Over the past 2 years, this signal has always predicted that Bitcoin is very close to bottoming out or has already reached the bottom. A bottom could form here as we have another red dot printing right now. As a matter of fact, if we take a look at the gains since those red dots printed, the first time 60% gains, the second time 63% gains, the third time 198% gains on average. That's 100% gains for each red dot, which will put price roughly $120,000 per Bitcoin. Coincidentally, very close to these price targets, particularly the yellow one that we were talking about there. Now, furthermore, Bitcoin once again just did something that it's only done once before in its history, but the 2-week Gaussian channel just flipped green and it's getting smushed between previous all-time highs and the parabolic curve, meaning that likely, before long, price will be going higher in a much stronger fashion. This was the 2017 pump when things went crazy. And while price may continue down a little bit, well, it's only forming a giant inverse head and shoulders that could push price to hundreds of thousands of dollars per Bitcoin. And on the longer time scale, for those of you who have more than a day or a week or a month or a year time frame, those people who think in terms of 5 years, decades, 50 years, right now, Bitcoin is on track for $1 million per Bitcoin as the fair value in 11 years by 2035. That's the fair value. That's not the top. That's not the bottom. That's the fair value, average price of Bitcoin, the price that Bitcoin has at its halving. That means that the halving close to 2035, whenever that is, I don't want to do the math right now in my head, but guess what? Bitcoin will be $1 million per Bitcoin by then, if not sooner. So if you can wait until then, it's an absolutely amazing investment, but not financial advice. So that's all for this episode. If you enjoyed it, like the video, come join us on Twitter at @TheCryptoLove. Subscribe to the OG Crypto and Bitcoin YouTube channel. And YouTube says that you should watch that video right there and go prove them wrong. I'll catch you later. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.
If you don't think Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin and then $10 million a coin, you're already a loser.
From now on, if you don't own Bitcoin, you're a moron.